Hello, Imogen Heap here, musician, performer, artiste, Grammy Award-winning engineer and producer. Also the founder of The Creative Passport, which is now live after so many years. Very excited. Please go and sign up if you're a music maker watching this. So why am I doing this? Well, I've been in the industry for 25 years and I have done a lot of admin in my time, and so have the team that I've worked with over the years. I feel like I'm putting in the same information time and time again, chasing stuff unnecessarily. I wish the music industry wasn't quite so complex. In fact, I reached a frustration point that drove me to sharing a future vision of a music industry I wished would be. And this got so much positive feedback from artists and services around the world that it kind of changed my life. In fact, I got more positive feedback from that than I have from any song I've ever written. So I took this seed of an idea and I invited some musicians and some services to a few hack weekends in London to see what we could come up with. And one of the people that came to this hack weekend in the beginning was a lady called Carlotta Donini, who is our CEO of The Creative Passport.
Yes, I met Imogen at one of the first workshops and I was so excited about her vision and I really wanted to get involved, and we just started working together. At first, her vision was quite huge and ambitious and reaching in and out of the industry, and we knew we couldn't tackle this alone. So what we did is that we just started to share openly our ideas and see who wanted to get involved.
So yeah, after 3 years of workshops and conferences and speaking engagements and panels in London, we met hundreds of people, musicians, services. We met the PPL, Musicians Union, Featured Artists Coalition, Spotify, Universal, Music Producers Guild, so many people. And in fact, we even went to Parliament.
Yeah, and we discussed at length around intellectual property with UK governmental bodies such as the Intellectual Property Office and the Department of Culture, Media and Sports.
That's right. And after all of that, we boiled it down to this essential piece that we realised we were missing. And what it is the Creative Passport. Now, what is the Creative Passport?
Well, the Creative Passport is a verified digital identity for music makers where they can access, update and manage information about themselves and their careers.
So we took this whole concept to the extreme by doing what we've been doing in London all around the world on a 40-day global tour. Through performances, workshops, panels, speaking engagements, again, we galvanised support from musicians and services, and we iterated what we had to try to discover core functionalities that were missing that would help both the musicians and the services.
And we came back to London from the US summer 2019, and after receiving some funding from Finnish organisation named Sitra, we really changed gear and sped up the development of the Creative Passport.
That's right. And then when we got back, we had all of this stuff to do, and Carlotta became our CEO.
And I put together the amazing Creative Passport team, making sure to leave the development milestones based on the feedback that we gathered from the various meetings and workshops that we had on tour, as well as the active involvement of our ambassadorship community.
Yeah, so we're going to walk you through what we've got so far.
Yeah, we've got Bishi today with us, one of our Creative Passport ambassadors, who's going to show us and walk us through the sign-up process and a little bit of the profile information.
Hello, my name is Bishi Bhattacharya and I'm proud to be an ambassador of the Creative Passport. I'm now going to sign up for my Creative Passport and take you through step by step how to set up and verify your profile. Go on creativepassport.net and click on the sign up button. Register your email address, choose a secure password, have a look at the privacy policy and service terms. Verify your email address, copy and paste the verification link received. Once verified, you can now log into your CP. You can now create your artistic persona using your artist name, in my case Bishi, and start populating your profile with information. Remember to click Save Changes every time. As we want to ensure to have real people behind every Creative Passport, we suggest to verify your government identity sooner rather than later. You can click Verify Your ID and this will bring you to the Yoti page. You will then need to download the Yoti app on your mobile phone and scan your government ID document following instructions. After the documents have been verified, You will only need to scan the QR code on the Creative Passport page from the Yoti app. After providing permission, your real name and date of birth will automatically appear in the left section of your profile. Then, if you are a musician and a PPL member, you can also verify an important identifier called IPN. Okay, I am now signed up and ready to go. I'm going to get stuck into populating my profile.
Okay, I'm going to walk you through the information of my Creative Passport now, and I'm also going to show you how to create a public page and how to share your information with the rest of the world, should you so desire, and put yourself on the map, as it were. Okay, so here we are. This is my Creative Passport dashboard. So here you can see two artist personas, but I'm only going to show you this one. Now in here, I've got my profile information I'm going to start with. And you can see my biography, some aliases, genres, music roles, non-music roles. Now you might think, why would I want to share non-music roles? Well, I'll tell you a bit of trivia. My second most popular song is a song called The Happy Song, which was written for under twos. It actually scientifically makes babies happier. And the people that commissioned me to do that because they knew I was a mum. So you never know what kind of information you share might invite some interesting collaboration. Other skills, instruments played, hardware and software used, different ways that people can find reasons to want to work with you. You might be interested in big data or travel or blockchain. For current projects, Mimu Gloves there, HabLab TV. Favourite music makers. This could be a way to discover for your fans to go through an exploration of what music musicians like. So if you clicked on Imogen Heap, perhaps in Spotify or Apple Music, you might discover that my inspirations are Apparat, or Guy Sigsworth, or Zoe Keating, FK Twigs. And then representatives, labels, PR agency, agents, publishers. Very useful for me to keep a hold of which labels have which licenses. Also here, official links. So that's at the moment just all my socials and a few extra little websites of stuff that I'm working on, Mimu Gloves and the Creative Passport. Up at the top here on the right, you'll see a couple of icons, and this is how I share my information public and privately. I'm going to get Carlotta to explain what that does.
This switch allows you to keep an info private or restricted, which means that we can manually select where to share the information with the sharing button. If switched to public instead, it would push the information to all integrated services and our public APIs. In order to add the service, you need to go to Settings, Manage Service, and right now we have the public page as the service integrated, so you'll need to enable it. Once you have enabled, you can just decide what to share, which kind of information to share, either from here or using the sharing button next to each data field in your profile dashboard.
Thank you, Carlotta. Last but not least, if you are a UK musician and a PPL member, you can also verify an important identifier called an IPN. You can click on Verify Your Industry Identifiers, select PPL, and then follow the instructions that will ask you to log into your PPL account to retrieve your IPN number. So at this stage, I really want to thank the PPL for being our first music service integration. We hope in the future and endeavour to achieve thousands of services integrating with the Creative Passport to help us with our admin, to help us share our information publicly and privately to the services we work with. But we can't do that yet.
Well, it's a bit of a chicken and egg situation. That's why we need to attract thousands of music makers on board to attract music services.
If we had tried to do this another way around and tried to get all the music services integrated before launch, we would have had to have millions of pounds worth investment, and we'd have to be a for-profit company. It's really important to us that we remain non-profit, as the music makers have paid enough already. Now is the time, and we'd be years behind. I do think that we can do this. Any other company would be laughed at to do it this way, but because music makers are used to doing things in the development phase, we're used to creating together in the studio and rehearsing together, I know that we can do this. And if we can get music makers on board and we can get them organised, music services will come our way, because we are going to be the biggest force in the industry.
Yes, and every time a new service will integrate, music makers will save time, streamlining those boring yet necessary admin jobs, leaving it to the Creative Passport, and perhaps even freeing up services to give music makers more of the pie with less costs and more efficiency on their side. We've got a tool that will allow music makers to become the source of truth to tap into, to become the identification tool and the artist-related information provider used by the industry.
That's right. And in the future, we are going to be able to fix our own data because we were there. We can prove it. We are going to be so organised. We are going to be able to manifest an entire ecosystem of new services from our data, making it easier for us in our workflow, creating better experiences for our fans, and welcoming in an era of an abundance of opportunities rather than this sinking feeling that it's all going to fall apart at any moment. So this is exciting, the first time in 100 years of the recorded music industry where we can finally turn this around in our favour and make life just easier for our future selves.
Yeah, so chop, go on creativepassport.net and sign up right now.
You can also see if you want to know about any future developments that we're working on, and if you want to help fund the organisation, then you can do that too.
Well, ciao from me.
Goodbye for me.